Have you started investing in your 40s and 50s and wish you started earlier? And now it kind of feels like you've messed up a little bit. And I know you're thinking, I wish I started at 20, that you've maybe missed the boat. And I've seen these comments throughout, by the way, so I'm not just picking on a couple of you. But there is a lot of people that go, well, I think what's the point now? Retirement's nearly here. Why do I need to start investing? But I personally don't think that's true. Yes, obviously starting earlier is going to help. But there's a big elephant in the room, which we do need to talk about. So stick around and I may well open your eyes a little bit of reflection. But I think you, or maybe even if you're younger, watching this may be in a better position than you think. Now, the problem with starting early as a concept sounds good on paper, but it might not actually be a real life situation. I've done this before. You'll see concepts where if you start at 20, start at 30, start at 40, start at 50, and then you run the numbers. It's always going to look better with time in the market, isn't it? Let's be fair. And maths is real. Compounding growth is real. It's powerful, but also on paper, it's powerful, but real life situation. Kids, dogs, cars, mortgages, you get the idea where I'm going here. And that emotion of not having money or I should be doing better with money is also very, very real. We know that. Because if you're 45, 52, 56, whatever, it doesn't make you think, I'm just going to start investing tomorrow. Sometimes there has to be a bit of a push to do it. And this is why I think a lot of financial content creators get this a little bit wrong, and myself included at times. Not everyone wants to invest. Not everyone wants to become a gym bud, for example, or, you get the idea where you've got to want to do it. Whether it's talking to your kids about what they want to aspire to be in the future or investing or saving more, whatever it may be, you have to want to do it. Some people just don't want to do it young, and that's okay. Now, I did a video on Tuesday. Feel free to jump in, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch it, and I talk about the facts, the figures of essentially how much people have invested. For example, it's quite low. When we talk about the data in terms of the big spectrum, it's 1 in 10 people have less than £1,000 savings. That's freaking barbaric. And 1 in 4 are literally living paycheck to paycheck. If something goes wrong, they have no emergency fund and they're cream crackered, essentially, right? But most people investing in their 20s, I'll be honest, had either a big hand from the banker mum and dad, have been brought up in a well-educated manner with money, so they understood it early as a concept because it isn't in the school curriculum. We know this. Most people in their 20s, I'm going to say it now, are struggling to get through life. Myself included at the time when I was first starting off. You got lower wages, you've got rent, mortgages, cars, fancy lifestyle bollocks, and also peer pressure to do other things. 20 years ago, it was probably smoking and drinking, let's be fair here. But as I say, you get into your 40s, your 50s, you are more mature. Workplace pensions, for example, is normally the starting point for most people now with the automatic enrollment. You start finding, we're going to come into this in a minute, finding investing videos. Ooh, that sounds cool, right? You learn what an ISA is, the limit of an ISA, why they are more tax efficient. And you realize that global index funds actually exist and I can do it with a button click. Boom, off we go. Easy, isn't it? But then you go, bollocks. Why didn't I do that 25 years ago, 20 years ago? You get where I'm going with this. Because I'm going to say one thing and one thing only. You couldn't, could you? If you're 45, 50, 60, whatever. And I know that you comment, by the way, if I'm talking to you, feel free to create discussions. It wasn't easy back then to do it, was it? This is where we're going with this. Because investing now is the easiest possible route ever when you think about it. Back in the day, you couldn't, or you didn't get an automatic enrollment into a workplace pension. You had to probably ask for that, if you get my point. Now, what have you got? You got these little things, haven't you? Mobile phones. They're everywhere. Literally. Apps, websites, YouTube videos where you can listen to plebs like me with reflective information of what I'm doing, and you like it. You subscribe to me, you like, you comment, and you like to know what I'm doing every single time. Where was that 20 odd years ago? There wasn't a thing, was it? You would have had to find out what the latest stocks were doing in the newspaper. The internet didn't really have very good charting abilities back then. It didn't have the likes of TradingView, for example, or even Yahoo Finance for more up-to-date information and data sets. It's definitely changed in the last 25 years. We know this. But you didn't have access to the ability to go from your internet banking, for example, into a stockbroker. It was all very much the Wolf of Wall Street, where you were just on a phone. You get a phone call, would you like to invest? Or invest through the bank at very, very minimalistic returns. It was very, very different, unless you really knew what you were doing. And as I say, that came with education and other bits and pieces. Most people wouldn't have thought in their slightest to go, I'm going to go to a financial advisor today on my way to the shops to get my milk and my bread. Let's be let's be real. So when you are sitting there thinking, I wish I started earlier, there's probably a reason why you didn't. The advantage for younger people now is more likely time. But you got to think cost of living, it's a bit crack. You don't have much to kind of throw around. But for an older person, you have firepower. Most people, this is not everyone, obviously, I know. Most people in this situation don't have a mortgage, got themselves set up a bit better with career situation. So you have more firepower. You can go woof, but you're not going to miss it as much if you are doing it that way. Whereas if you're 20-year-old, you can't do that. So yes, you may have less time, but you may have more firepower. You may understand that your plan is a lot shorter and you're able to plan for that better than, say, me or someone younger than me going, well, everything can go all a bit tit-shaped, if you get my point, with obviously the state pension, which is, yeah, different to the workplace pension, but you get the idea. It doesn't matter if you're investing £100 at 20-year-old or £500 at 50, it will all still marry up in the same way through time. If you're 50, you've probably still got 17, 18, 20 years on the planet to kind of have a big difference in terms of having a comfortable future when that state pension or that retirement age happens for you. As I say, everyone has a different circumstances for when you want to retire. But let's talk about it in simple terms here. Like, let's do what would I do? If you go on my website, go on to Investing Tools. This is quite simple. Scroll down and put your email address when you get to Wealth Tracker. If you remember, you'll get access to this. All I want you to do is add everything up. Find out all your nuggins and your noggins, right? Basically, simple as that. Work out where you are. Pension, ISA, savings, mortgage, whatever it is. But also go in the budget planner and work out your outgoings. So work out how much money you've got, work out how much debt you also have, or how much your outgoings are, your spends, basically. Keep it simple. Now, the second thing that you need to do, realistically, if you're a bit older, you do not need to gamble. You do not need to go into the meme coins of crypto. You do not need to do silly stuff. Keep it super simple because, as I say, you more than likely have a bit more firepower, realistically. Not financial advice, but if you are looking down the rabbit hole of YouTube trying to get rich whilst you're in your 50s or your 55 or your 60, it's probably not the thing you should be doing. The third thing you need to do, if you are a higher tax person in terms of that bracket, make sure you have your pensions up to date, i.e., are you claiming your tax relief if you're a higher earner, for example? Not everyone does that, by the way. You've got to do a self-assessment to get that 20% back. Go and find your other ones. There's plenty of websites. You can use Monzo to find them as well. There's a link below to Monzo in my link tree if you're interested, but they will search for old workplace pensions through your national insurance number. If you've had 7 or 8 jobs, you may have enrolled to them. You may well find random bits and they'll put it all into one place for you. The fourth and the most obvious, we talk about a lot on the channel, ISAs. Get a freaking stocks and shares ISA. Keep it super simple. Tax efficiency. If you're using it as a play pot, it's great for withdrawals. If you're going to get tax to buggery with your pension, it makes sense having that situation where you've got 2 going at the same time. They're not perfect, but you get the idea. And number 5, and the most clear and obvious, when you've got your budget sorted out, you need to automate it as much as you possibly can. Make it go out on a set day, set investments, and forget about it. Let it just do its thing. Let it do its magic without you having to think about it. Because once you start second guessing things, you will forget. But another bonus little tip, maybe jump in your MoneyMate Plus, because I have built a lot of tools here that will help you, such as a stock screener, finding stocks, finding ETFs, portfolio help, and historical ETF data. Not to mention, there's going to be courses, exclusive videos, as well as an online Discord community coming very, very soon for free and paid members, plus 2 more courses incoming. The screener uses real-time data sets, and it is, it's laid out in a much better way than any other broker, and it will help you massively with more and more things added to it. So once the community is added with the Discord and stuff like that, there will be live streams, there will be other exclusive content. It will be a home for you, fingers crossed, and it will help you get better. But the final thing we need to talk about is retirement is not the end, somewhat. A lot of people just think that, I'm going to retire, I'm just not going to invest anymore, I won't need it, what's the point? If you retire at 60, 65, 67, doesn't matter. That money that you have invested, you may not want to put as much in, but if it's still sat there doing its thing, it could actually make you money. My old man has been retired nearly 3 years now. He is still up, still up on his money, having already doing a drawdown off that, which blows my brains. So that just shows cases how much returns have been good over the last couple of years. But yeah, that, as I say, it doesn't mean when you're like 65, 67, as I say, sell it all, live off the cash. No. Yeah, live off cash in a way, but use it effectively. But yeah, I hope I've sorted out some rumors and murmurings here, because I think a lot of people just think, I'm old, what's the point? You never know what's going to happen around the corner. Obviously, there's going to be crashes and stuff, but you've got to put your money to work at some point, don't you? Not everyone can go back in time. Yes, you can go on my website, you can use my calculators, you can look at what future planning could look like. But at the end of the day, we're going to be real here. If you want a really simple video in terms of how to manage, handle, and look at some really good, simple ETFs that will be useful for global markets, watch this video. It'll make a big difference.